Audio is super important, no matter what kind of video you're making. In fact, I believe that you should be paying as much attention to your audio as you are to the visual elements of your video. But the thing is, audio can be kind of confusing, especially when it comes to sound design. So today we're going back to basics. We are going to categorize every single type of sound that you can put in your video, so it's easier to think about, it's easier to plan, and it's easier to talk about when you're collaborating with other people. But first, because I know it's gonna come up in the comments, let's just get this out of the way now. All of the effects and transitions and even the LUTs that I used in that opening sequence, those are from a free pack from Motion VFX called M Matrix. It's for DaVinci Resolve and for Final Cut. Motion VFX is not sponsoring this video, but it's been fun to play around with this pack and it's free, so I figured I'd let you know about it. It'll be linked below if you want to check it out. All right. Let's talk about audio. Every single sound that you put in your video can fit into one of three categories. It's either diegetic sound, non-diegetic sound, or trans-diegetic sound. Simple, right? But you know, what does all that mean? Well, it's actually pretty easy. Diegetic sound, the easiest way to think about it is it's anything that the characters in your video can hear in this scene. So dialogue between two people, that is diegetic sound. Any music that's playing on the radio or in somebody's headphones, that's also diegetic sound. Also, any naturally occurring effects or sounds, that's all diegetic sound. Anything that the characters can hear. Now, non-diegetic sound, that's the exact opposite. It's stuff that the audience can hear, but the characters can't. So things like the underlying soundtrack of a video or a movie or a TV show, that's non-diegetic because the characters can't hear it. Also, voiceovers. Voiceovers count as non-diegetic sounds because in most cases, the characters can't hear it. Also, any added sound effects like whooshes or risers for transitions, that's all non-diegetic sound. And then trans-diegetic sound is sound that moves from being diegetic to non-diegetic or vice versa. For example, let's say you have music playing during a title sequence and then it cuts to the opening shot of your video and that same song is playing on the radio. That is a trans-diegetic sound. Even a voiceover from a narrator, maybe the character suddenly breaks the fourth wall and starts interacting with that narrator. That is now a trans-diegetic voiceover. Now, most films and TV shows and even YouTube videos have a mix between diegetic, non-diegetic, and trans-diegetic sound, but if we had to rank them in order of importance, the one thing that you need to focus on the most, the one thing that you need to nail every single time would be that diegetic sound, this stuff that is actually happening in the scene that the characters can hear. What is going on with my voice? Diegetic sound is the thing that pulls the audience in, that immerses them in the scene. It makes them feel like they're right there with the characters experiencing what they're experiencing. Let's jump into that sequence that I created for the beginning of this video and take a look at the bookend clips, the first clip and the last clip. So we've got our clip right here and we're gonna play it just silently for now. And you can hear, like, there's not much going on in this scene, but still, it feels very, very empty, right? Let's go ahead and let's activate our little ambient noise here. And there you go. It just feels a lot more full. It actually feels like you're kind of in there with her. Now, let's play this final scene. We've got our ambient noise in the background. That's still going on, but let's take a listen. See, once again, we've got that ambient noise there, but this scene feels empty. And the reason why is because those motorcycles have no sound to them. They're completely silent. So let's go ahead and activate our motorcycle sounds and play that again. There you go. Just adding those motorcycle sounds in there made it a lot more immersive and made you actually kind of feel like you were in there, hearing what she's hearing, experiencing what she's experiencing. Getting that diegetic sound right is going to go a long way in increasing and maintaining your audience engagement no matter what kind of video you make. But that doesn't mean that non-diegetic sound isn't important. There are non-diegetic elements that, depending on the type of video that you're making, could be just as important as the diegetic sounds. For example, music. Music can help shape the story. It can help kind of convey the right emotion. It can be very, very important. Let's take a look again at the beginning of this sequence. First, we're gonna play this whole thing without music. Let me go ahead and solo everything and go ahead and play this without the music. You see what I mean? Like that, it was okay. All of the right sounds were there, but it still feels kind of empty. Now let's go ahead and activate our music track and let's see what it sounds like. See? It feels more full. It feels more complete. I like that. Now let's dive into trans-diegetic sound. Now, admittedly, there aren't a whole lot of places where it would be appropriate. You want to use this sparingly and kind of pick your sweet spot, but trans-diegetic sound can be really, really good for audio-based transitions. For example, between a title sequence and the opening shot of a film, like I mentioned before, or between a montage and the next scene. I actually did this in the scene that you watched at the beginning of the video. Let's take a look. So here at the end, I've got my music playing and then it cuts and you'll see I've got this little piece of music down here on this track. Now, this is actually the same piece of music. It's just got some effects on it and it's a lot lower because what I am doing is making it so this is the main soundtrack of the montage and then it's going to sound like this is playing on her phone. Let's go ahead and play it and I'll show you what I mean. See how that worked as a transition without skipping a beat in the music? We went from it being part of the soundtrack to it being part of the scene, and therefore it was a nice seamless transition between the two scenes in the sequence. So now we have an idea of the 3 different types of sound that you can have in your videos, and we have an idea of how to use them. Now let's talk about where you can get those sounds. The most obvious and sometimes the easiest way to get sounds for your soundstage or your sound design is by just recording them on set. Get a nice recorder and record the ambient sounds of the area. That's really the easiest way to go. But if you don't have a nice recorder, then you can do something called creating Foley. Creating Foley is basically creating the sounds of your video yourself, usually in a recording studio. You're using different instruments, different objects in order to make sounds that sound like what's going on in the scene. If that sounds confusing, I get it. I probably did a horrible job of explaining it, but Diegetic Microphones actually did an amazing video about creating Foley for videos. I'll make sure I link that below. The problem with Foley is it can be expensive to get started because you need a recording studio and recording equipment and all of the material in order to make your sounds, and it can be a lot. So if you can't record on set and you can't create Foley, the best place to get music and sound effects for your videos, the place where I've been getting the sound effects and music for my videos for a long time, is today's sponsor, Artlist. I love Artlist, and not just because they're sponsoring this video. I've been using them for a lot longer than I've been partnered with them, but they're amazing. They've got a whole bunch of high quality music and sound effects to choose from. They've got their For You page where they'll actually curate songs that they think you'll like based on stuff that you've downloaded before. Plus, they just released their personal plans, which are monthly plans that cover you on all social media platforms. And of course, they still have annual plans with that unlimited license that allows you to use their music and sound effects whenever you want, wherever you want, even on commercial work, even in film and TV, and even on platforms that haven't even been created yet, which is super, super cool. If you sign up for Artlist using the link in the description, you'll actually get 2 months free. So make sure you click on that link, check them out, tell them I said hi, and thank you so much, Artlist, for sponsoring this video. All right, we know the different types of sound we can have in our videos. We know where to get it. We know how to use it. Now, how do we actually plan it out? How do we start thinking about this so we know what we actually need to put into our videos? And it really boils down to 2 simple questions. Question number 1, what would I be able to hear if I was standing there in this scene? Would I hear people talking? Would I hear music? Would I hear cars driving by, or motorcycles, or an airplane flying overhead, or wind blowing, or rain falling? You get the idea. What would I be able to hear if I was standing there with the characters in that scene? And then the second question, which is just as easy to answer, is what kinds of sounds can I use to enhance this story, smooth out transitions between scenes, or convey the proper emotion? If you can accurately answer those 2 questions, then you'll be well on your way to designing a soundstage that's going to completely immerse your audience in your videos. Thanks for watching.